Behind me is the only place in all Jerusalem where we could certifiably say Jesus had to have walked here. Jerusalem's been destroyed and rebuilt so many times that all that's left are these Herodian steps that used to lead up to the temple. Now it leads up to a blank wall because it's all been sealed up. But these steps remained buried until about 1986 when they became uncovered. And of course, a lot of them have been restored, but the one that the folks are standing on behind me, those are the places, those steps could have told you what Jesus sounded like if they could speak. They could even tell you what his feet smelled like if they could speak. This is the place. It's a place where people would have passed back and forth, ascending and descending out of the temple, that even from a place way down by the Pool of Siloam at the bottom of a hill, almost 400 feet below us, somebody would have scooped up a pitcher of water in a golden pitcher and ran it up these steps up to the top of the Temple Mount on Sukkot and poured it out on the last great day of the feast. And when they did that, that's when Jesus spoke up on one of those occasions and said, "If any man is thirsty, let him come to me and drink. And out of him will flow torrents of living water." And he was speaking of the Holy Spirit and the character of the Holy Spirit flooding out of a person. Gives you an idea of what God expects the work of the Holy Spirit to be out of each of us. That we're not just somehow a container of the Holy Spirit, but we're a fire hydrant, as it were, that's opened up for the world to be able to be delighted and refreshed by all the work and good fruit that comes from our lives because of God working in us and producing these things through us. These are what Ronnie, our guide, calls the teaching steps too, and Jesus probably taught his disciples here as well. It's also possible that on the day of Pentecost, after the mighty rushing wind blew through that room and tongues of fire appeared on people's heads and they began to speak in other languages and they ran out of that room and people heard them and were gathered together, and Peter gave his message there in Acts chapter 2, it might have happened right here on these steps. Why? Because it's surrounded in this area by mikvaot, or ritual cleansing ponds, and it was the perfect place to baptize a lot of people all at once. Who knows? But this is a very important place and one of my favorite places in all Jerusalem, because this is the one place here we can say Jesus actually stood. God bless you.